Hello, today we're looking at a Germany practice question number 2 with Educast. All about the question. It is 8 marks, which means we will take roughly 8 minutes to complete it using 2 paragraphs. We'll be provided with a source. Usually this is a propaganda poster, but not necessarily a propaganda poster, but most likely a propaganda poster. So please don't take my word for it that it will be a propaganda poster, but it most likely will be a propaganda poster. And you'll be asked to identify what the purpose of the source is. And you must explain this in the context of the time period, linking to various policies and events and clearly identifying the purpose. In our 2 paragraphs, we will need to do the following things. Paragraph 1, we will set the context for the time period and we'll explain clearly what was going on in Nazi Germany using names, dates, policies, and events. We'll explain the context by linking it to what source B shows us, and we'll talk about why it was created and the impact that it had. We'll also explain what the source is and when it was made, describing what we can see and what we already know. And we want to go beyond just saying it is a propaganda poster, but we want to link it to a policy of what we know and describing the things that we can see. We then need to make sure that we clearly explain the purpose, linking to any of those policies and events that were happening at the time. So here we have an example of a Germany question 2. It says a poster call for an exhibition called The Eternal Jew held in Munich from 1937 to 1938. And there are some things that we need to identify that we can see in the propaganda poster. So we can see the appearance is very stereotypical. We have the long nose. This gentleman looks very untrusting, very ugly. We can see a map of Germany with a communist symbol within it. And this shows that Jews are turning Germany into a communist state. And that's a big fear for anyone who is a Nazi. We can see the stereotype of Jews being money lenders. We know that Jews did quite well during the Great Depression as they kept the money within their own community. And this angered a lot of Germans that they didn't see the same financial success. And lastly, the whip is a symbol of slavery. And this is saying that Jews are enslaving Germans. Now, looking at the year 1937 and 1938, we can link this to some policies that we already know. We could talk about the Nuremberg laws passed in 1935, which limited the rights and freedoms of Jews, such as property rights, citizenship, and marriage. We could talk about the general persecution of Jews. Also talk about the Jewish shop boycott, as well as Kristallnacht in 1938. Looking at the exhibition, we need to know what that is, and an exhibition is an exhibit. So we could imagine that this poster has the purpose of potentially promoting that exhibition or getting Germans to attend and adopt these views against Jews.
Nazi racial policy aimed to persecute Jews in Germany. In 1935, the Nuremberg laws limited basic human rights such as property ownership, education and marriage laws for Jews. Source B is an example of Nazi propaganda to advertise the Eternal Jew exhibition, showing an unpleasant-looking Jew lending money, spreading communism across the map of Germany, and holding a whip to enslave Germans. These were stereotypes that were taught in schools, as well as heard in the general public as a part of more aggressive actions against Jews in the mid to late 1930s. The purpose of Source B is to encourage Germans to attend the exhibition, and discourage Germans from interacting with Jews. This poster supported the existing boycotts of Jewish shops and aimed to strengthen the Aryan German identity. By creating hatred towards Jews, the Nazis hoped that many Jews would simply leave Germany on their own. As tensions continued to rise, events like Kristallnacht took place in 1938 to further persecute Jews in Germany.
So now that we've had a chance to look at our sample response, we have 3 sample questions with sample answers and a mark scheme. Each will appear on screen for roughly 10 seconds, and then you can check the mark scheme at the end. So here we have question A, B, and C. Question A says, the German student fights for Hitler and his people, and this was made in 1939. Question B is a card published in Germany and Austria to celebrate the Anschluss of 1938, and it says the homeland is free. And question C is a propaganda poster from 1924 showing a dagger going through a copy of the Treaty of Versailles, and it reads the real enemy. Whichever question you attempt, you need to make sure you're linking to policies that were going on at the time and setting the context by explaining what was happening when this poster was created. All the while, in your last paragraph, making sure that you explain its purpose. So go ahead, choose a question. You have a look at the sample answers. Again, A, B, and C will appear for 10 seconds each. Feel free to pause the video to have a look, and you can check and mark using the marks